In the name of Allah, most beneficent and merciful, we like to welcome all of you to this online workshop on NLP in Classroom. This is one of our initiative as a part of quality assurance, engage ourselves with other higher educational institutions within Oman and outside Oman. So here we like to extend our support to DP Jain College, Chennai, which is one of the premier higher educational institution in the southern part of India. They are very much involved in various research activities and professional development program. I like to thank management of DP Jain College and Dr. Shaktivel Murugan, professor in charge, DP Jain College. Educational environment, that is NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. The study on neuro is not new. This is happening for the past century. But here we are trying to link the study of the brain with the language and the behavior. Ultimately, we are trying to connect our audience. As a teacher, we are trying to make our classrooms more effective with the help of NLP. Before getting to this NLP for the classroom, let us see some of the basic idea about NLP. This is happening in our day-to-day life. This is not new for us. Sometimes we are talking loudly, sometimes we are talking very politely. We are using different tone according to the situation. When there is a urgency, how we talk. When people are, in a very calm situation, how we talk, both are different. Same way, whenever we are seeing our friend, we are so cheerful. There's a lot of smile in your eyes. Then you talk with, a lot of optimism in your talks. Why? Because you like him. He's a friend of you. So, this is NLP. This is what we are expecting in our classroom also. How we are seeing our students. Are we seeing them as our friends? How cheerful we are with them? How much optimism we are showing to them? So these are all very important as a teacher. Like that. Also, we prefer certain location, prefer the place to convince or convey certain issues. Like that, the place in which we are delivering our lecture, that's the classroom. We cannot change the classroom, we cannot, change the location, but we can change the atmosphere of the classroom. Suppose I want to tell some very confidential thing to my dad. What I do? I wait for particular timing. We go to the particular location. Talk to him very much, confidentially. I try to convince him. So, this is the element which we are adapting day-to-day life in our everyday. Okay, and also the body language. See the picture. The person is very much pleading. He is folded. His hands are folded. He is asking something like that. This is happening in our life also. Whenever we want to get certain things, we are very polite. We are showing our, different body language. So, this is one of the main theme of NLP. how we are using our gestures, how we are using our body when we convey certain things. The teacher go and teach hour together. He's just like, standing like a statue. No expressions, no smile, nothing like that. His body language is nil. So how it will be? So that's what we are here today. We try to understand how the NLP can helpful for the teacher. Here you can see the food. The food is not, I can't say something very delicious, but it become delicious because of the place where it is being kept. The Star Hotel, very beautiful ambience, very pleasant music, nicely presented. Ultimately, the food tastes you so much. So now we understand why star hotels are spending so much for their ambience and for presenting things so nicely. A lot of costlier equipments and audio system, etc. just to enhance the experience. If we eat the same food without all this, it's just like the food what we are eating at home, right? So this is happening in our life every day. We call it NLP methodology. It comprises of three things. One is study about the brain. Another one, the study about the language which we are using. The language in sense, not the real literary meaning of the language. How we are using the language to convey the delivery, and how it's going to affect your behavior. So ultimately we are trying to program our behavior with the help of two things. One is brain and another is your language. Here is a basic idea of senses. Each one, the human being, having 5 senses. To understand anything, we have to apply all the 5 senses. Then only you can understand that particular thing in a better way. One is what? By touch. Another one is by spelling it, then hearing it, tasting it and seeing it. In our workshop of NLP, we ask our participants to eat one chocolate, just giving one chocolate. Then most of them what they do, they don't even see the chocolate, they eat the chocolate. We ask them to eat again. We give another chocolate, ask them to open it slowly, look at the chocolate and take it and see its texture and feel it with the help of your fingers, your hands. Then even slightly smell it and then eat it. Now there's a lot of difference in the particular act. So if you do something mindlessly, it's not going to help us much. Like people are eating something without focusing on it. We are using nowadays we are using mobile phone and eating it. Some people are watching the televisions and eating. So what happened here? The core act of eating spoiled because of distracted by some other act. That's what we call it mindlessly. When I do something, not to overshadow with other activities. Don't do several things at the same time. So what's the message for the teachers? When we are getting to the classroom, our focus very much towards the students and how we can deliver things very effectively. See, here I am showing another food stuff. So many food items here. So today lockdown is going on. Don't expect all this, only seeing the picture now. So just seeing itself so nice, awesome. If I smell it, how it will be. If I taste it, how it will be. So whatever we do it, we have to do it full mindfulness. The attention is very essential in NLP. You have to have full attention when you doing something. Next concept, RAS, Reticular Activating System. Basically the belief, the reason for your behavior. The beliefs are transformed into the thought process. The thoughts are finally become the behavior. So in NLP, we start from the source itself. You can see here. First, how your behavior shaped. This is purely because of your inner attitude, starting from your belief. Then belief becomes your thinking. Start thinking something more and more. Then it can say, this is my belief now. This belief is transformed into the attitude. The beliefs are continued by expectations. Then expectations are the reason for my attitude. The attitude is my behavior. My behavior is the performance. My performance is my life. So, this is the chain of things connected from my belief and thinking to my behavior. So, this is what NLP, here you can see that simple chart which depicts how the NLP communication model taking place. This is the world which we are in front of you. We are seeing through our eyes. These informations are inputted into your brain. On the way, some of the informations are deleted, some informations are stored, some informations are go inside deeply. So this is the thought process happening here. Later, this thought process converted into your linguistic, you are thinking using some language, right? Non-verbal. Later, this is become the verbal expression as an output. Start expressing your belief, your thought process. According to that, your attitude set, your behavior changes. Finally, this is what the complete cycle of NLP. Here, we try to focus something specific for each one. Neuro is nothing but the perception of your mind. Very simpler term, we call it perception of your mind. And there are some amazing facts about your mind, your brain, you know that, which can many times faster than the computer, which is more energetic. Okay, there are billions of neurons inside your brain. So many amazing facts are there. Why we have to know all this? Then only understand how strong we are, how much gifts are within our human system. So the next one is linguistic. It is nothing but verbal and non-verbal expression. It comprises of what you think inside, what you express through your verbal way or non-verbal expression of your body expression. Then the programming. Finally, those two things are going to set your behavioral pattern. The person behaving in a particular way because his thinking and his expressions are the reason for his behavioral pattern. So this NLP is co-created by two of the famous psychologists, Richard Bandler, John Grinder, in 1970. They were very much wonder and amazed seeing the successful therapists. They are seeing the people, how they are so successful, how they become successful, rather than why they are doing something this way. So this approach helped them to give NLP to this world. They are the people who are the co-creators of NLP. So what they have identified, they identify these 6 things. 1, the words used by the successful people. What type of specific choosy words they are using it, and also what questions they are asking to others, and also their voice tone, how they are using their voice, and also they studied their body posture, the body language. Also they try to understand what they listen. They listen their others, and also how they structure their language. The language, how they structure the language, this is very, very essential. So all these 6 things, the words, questions, voice tone, body posture, and listening, and structured their language, these are all the reason for the success of the people. This is the research findings made by these guys. So later, there are many other theories and research are made on NLP. Some of the research on behavioral pattern and modeling and motivational patterns and influencing, and so many other leadership qualities and coaching and training, etc. This is the development of NLP. We are concerned about NLP for education. Basically, there are 3 senses are dominating teaching and learning. One is auditory sense, then visual sense, and kinesthetic sense. How much sound can affect the student? You can say 20%, it has only 20%. 60% effect through visual. So that is the reason when we talk about the primary education, more and more we are using visual aids. Even today, in higher education, we are having the facility to use smart boards and plasma televisions and LCD projectors. Ultimately, this will enhance the visual delivery of the course. So this is very, very important. Visual makes very, very good effect on student. Then another 20% will be kinesthetic. There is nothing but the touch and feel, something like that. Learning by doing. If we are giving them chance to do something by hand, it is very much applicable for the laboratories and the technological courses. But anyhow, this is a general understanding. 20% students through the audio they understand, 60% through the visual, and 20% through the touching sense. This is the outcome of many researchers. They are giving focus on these 3 things. So visual, how we can do it? Learn by seeing it. Auditory learners, there are some people are dominant with visual learning. Some are very much dominant with auditory learning. Something kinesthetic learning. So we have to find out the students which type of sense they are more comfortable, we can do it. But in higher education, we don't see each student in a separate way. But what we can do it here, we can use more visual sense rather than other 2. Of course, this is also important, but using more visual delivery of the particular. So there is a need to understand the learning style of your student, because they are each one having different learning style, which is a pathway for the brain. In this way, we have to understand their learning style from the body language. Through the body language, we can understand their learning style. The posture, how they sit, how they look at. From that you can understand their learning style. Later we'll explain what are the postures and what their learning style. Then breathing pattern is one of the another way to understand their learning style. The voice tone of the student, the eye movement of the student, and language they use. All this will be the clue for you to know their learning style. First you take the visual eye movement. How the eye movement here, something we call it visual. If the movement of eyes are which like this, the visual up to the right or left, they are looking at little up. This is, they are visual learners. This particular student is what? Is very comfortable in visual learning. If his eye contact is middle line, it is exactly middle line, the particular student is comfortable with auditory learning style. Okay. If his eye contact, otherwise below the middle, look at below the middle of to the right, we call them, they are very much comfortable with kinesthetic learning style. So the eye movement, from the eye movement here more in detail, see the person look at like this. He is very much tend to use visual, he construct everything visually. This guy, he construct everything auditory way. He can construct kinesthetic way. So also their body language, how they keep their body, the tension in the shoulder. The people who are comfortable with the visual learning, they are keeping like this. The shoulders will be a little back. The people who are comfortable with this kind of learning style. And kinesthetic, they look at down and they are a bit relaxed. Their shoulders are a bit relaxed. So this is the very detailed way of understanding your learner. At least we have to adapt certain things which we can do. There are some physiological clues. How the visual learners look. They always sit up straight. They are sitting straight. They always keep their contact very much. Make eye contacts perfect. They talk faster. Okay. They breathe shallow. Something. But in the case of auditory learner, they often soft repeat the same thing. Repeat certain statements. They nod their heads as they listen. Then they breathe deeply, controlled way, and they tone and speed of speech is controlled, not talk speed. So their vocabulary is rich in vocabulary. This is the indication that they are auditory learners. The kinesthetic learners, physiological aspects of them, they often slump down in their seats. They don't sit straight. They feel a bit restless. Okay. They are also tactical. They feel a need to fiddle with their pen or paper while listening it. Many of you can see the same. They always, draw something when they are listening the class. So these guys are basically kinesthetic learner. They are comfortable learning things by doing it. So all the three categories you can understand from their behavior. Now we like to know student at risk. Out of the three different learners who are at risk, the kinesthetic learners, they are at risk because they easily understand things by doing. They don't learn things through auditory and visual learning. They will be slow. So they, that there are some students can understand certain concept only by doing it. They have to practice it, not just listening or not just hearing something like that. So for that student, we have to give that type of delivery. But the auditory learner, they have one risk, that is, they easily distracted by the sound or the noise. They are too sensitive to the noise. They are listening your lecture. At the same time, there's something, voice, some noise from outside also distracting them. So this, they are under risk. That as a teacher, we have to build the rapport with our students. That is very important aspect of the teaching. We have to create the trust among the students. So how you can do it? So you have to develop the ability to understand their viewpoints. You have to respect their behavior. No need you have to agree with their point of view. But as a teacher, we have to build the rapport. We have to create the comfort with your students through respecting their feelings, understanding their ability, and otherwise change yourself to their level. Okay? This can be done with the help of, in a very natural context. When we, for example, we are talking to the child, how we talk. When we talk to the small child, we bend down. Okay, we are very polite to them. Talk more slowly without excitement. So these are all the things how we can improve our teaching effectively, and we have to understand our audience. So as a teacher, match yourself with your student. There are some researchers giving this number given here. You can match with them physiologically and tonally and word-wise. You can match with them. So you know that they are in different level. We are in different level. Knowledge-wise, language-wise, so many gaps are there. But we are trying to reach them through creating some match. So NLP is about this also. How we can match ourselves to create more effective classroom. These are all the things we can match. And so finally, we are sharing some of the tips from Richard, Charles, and Terry. They are giving some tips how to be a highly effective teacher. They are the people made a lot of research on NLP. If we adapt this, we are best teacher through NLP. Teaching is not just delivering the knowledge. It is all about creating the relationship with your students. You have to have proper, healthy, admiring relationship with your students. This is one of the pedagogy of today's 20th century teaching. You have to treat them as your friend. You have to care them more. So they will be more trust on you. They become a fan of you later. Your work will be easy. You can deliver things very easily because there is a very good rapport relationship between you and your students. It is about the feeling. The teaching is not just words. It is not the number. It is not only the knowledge, sharing of knowledge. It is sharing of feeling. It means that you must feel it before you are delivering it. You talk something else, you advise something. First of all, you have to believe it. You have to feel it. Then only you can tell to your students. Otherwise, you will not reach them. So, once it happened in the life of the Prophet, one lady brought his son. Oh, my Prophet, this boy eating sugar more and more. He's not obeying my advice. Prophet said, okay, I talk to him later, come another day. She came next day. He didn't tell anything. He asked her to come another day. Third day also, he said, wait for one more day. Then that lady asked Prophet, what is the reason? It's very simple for you to advise, but you are not advising my son. The Prophet smiled and told her, I am also the person addicted for sweets. I like sweets so much. First I have to make myself perfect. I have to feel it. Eating sugar is not good for health. So that is the reason I took some time. Yes, today I can advise him not to eat sweet. What I am trying to tell here, if you don't believe something, if you don't feel something, if you are talking so much, effect will be nothing. So as a teacher, you have to be the role model. You have to develop your thought process. You have to develop your feelings in a right sense. So you are delivering some subject. Even that subject will stay in the minds of the students forever. Then third one, about using your sense as your subject knowledge. Not just, delivering things mechanically. Use all your senses. Use your body language. Use your auditorial sense. Even your eyes movement, okay? Your gesture, smile, everything will be the very important for delivering your course. We are in higher education. Our audience, our students are not very younger. Still, they are the students. They are very much affected by your best behavior and good sense within your classroom. Then fourth one, when we are entering into the classroom, what mood we are carrying in. We are entering the classroom with very positive thoughts, very optimistic mood, very happy sense, cheerful face. Then students also cheerful. They will be more optimistic. They will be very much confident. So, as a teacher, when we are entering into the class, we have to take very positive mood inside the classroom. Okay? Then, fifth one, it is our sense of motivation. How much motivation we are giving to our students, which will speed up the delivery of the lesson, the pace of the lesson. And also create a very good classroom atmosphere. You can change the student's mind easily. You can motivate them in a better way. Otherwise, students will be look at their watches. It means what? They are not motivated. They don't feel stay in your class. So as a teacher, you have to understand what is the drawback, why we are not able to motivate our students. There is no difficulty in the class. There is no difficulty in the course. There is no difficulty in the concept. There is something lacking, that is motivation. So first motivate yourself. First you have to motivate yourself as a teacher. Then motivate your students. And lastly, effective teaching begins and ends with our capacity to manage internal response and external behavior. So we have to control on our internal response, our internal thoughts, and our external behavior. So we are dealing with many students. All the behavioral pattern, the external behavioral pattern is going to affect your students very much. How you talk, how you behave, how you write, how you give the example, okay? How much you believe that particular concept, how much you like that particular concept. This will be the same effect on the students. They too like the subject so much. They will be very much, happy with your teaching. So these are all the few tips at the end of this session. Anyhow, the life is a bundle of happiness. Happiness is a voyage in which we are traveling, but most of us feel the happiness will be at the end. We are waiting for the destiny. As a student waiting for the bell to ring, as a teacher is waiting for his day to come to an end. Everybody waiting for something because they feel that is a happiness. But in reality, the happiness is a voyage in which you and me traveling. Today, this moment is happiest moment for me. This moment not going to happen again. So try to change your classroom as a voyage of happiness. Make the students to understand this is something very precious in your life, not going to happen again. These moments are very, very wonderful in your life, happiest moment for you. So enjoy each and every moment of your life which can take you to the pinnacles of your life. So if students are happy with this, understand this, they'll be very much with you, and you are a great teacher. Your names not being entered in written in, but your names will be entered in the minds of the students forever. Still we remember the teachers who changed our life. So I dedicate this presentation to my teachers who changed my life. I try to do my best. You know that now the fasting is going on. We are observing 30 days Ramadan fasting. So many other academic responsibilities. Along with that, I try to do something because I am responsible for this initiative. Thank you so much for listening. I hope if you are able to get at least 1 point from this presentation, if you are able to adapt this point in your classroom, that will be somewhat great. Thank you so much.